Over 47 million pounds of frozen vegetables pulled from freezers all over this country because they might put you in the hospital, sold under 42 different brand names you thought you could trust. That's not a horror story. That happened in 2016, and the system that let it happen is still humming along today. Here's the part nobody told you. The same anonymous factories packed frozen vegetables for dozens of different brands at once. So when one plant goes bad, it poisons a whole shelf at the same time. In that 2016 outbreak, 9 people were hospitalized and 3 died. So today we're walking through 6 frozen vegetable brands you should never put in your cart, and 3 that are actually just vegetables. If you're tired of being lied to, smash subscribe. You're going to want to share this one. Here's the thing about the frozen vegetable aisle. Plain frozen vegetables might be the most honest food in the store. A bag of peas, that's nothing but peas, flash frozen at the peak of the season. The problem isn't the vegetable, it's what gets done to it and who you can't see doing it. There are 2 traps waiting for you. The first is the co-packer problem. Most of these brands don't grow or freeze their own vegetables. They buy from giant shared facilities, slap a folksy label on the bag, and hope you never ask where it came from. When one of those facilities fails a listeria test, every brand it touches goes down together. The second trap is the sauce. And get this, the moment a bag stops being just broccoli and becomes broccoli in a savory sauce, that's when the soybean oil, the sodium, the sugar, and the natural flavors move in. Let's name names. Number 6 is hiding in plain sight, and I need you to hear the qualifier first because the plain stuff is fine. Bird's Eye's sauced and seasoned line, not the plain steam fresh bag of vegetables, is where this brand goes wrong. The plain broccoli is just broccoli. The seasoned medley is a different animal. Look at the ingredient list on the steam fresh seasoned Asian medley. After the vegetables, you get soybean oil, salt, sugar, or natural flavor, and the stir-fry version carries 380 milligrams of sodium in a single cup. The American Heart Association says to stay under 1,500 milligrams a day. So one healthy side dish can eat a quarter of your entire daily budget, and the receipts are real. In 2021, Bird's Eye recalled its breaded broccoli tots after bags were found to contain pieces of metal and rock. Some people chipped teeth. That same year, 25,000 cases of Bird's Eye baby sweet peas were pulled for possible listeria. When your vegetables come with soybean oil, a sodium bomb, and the occasional rock, you've stopped buying produce and started buying an engineered side dish. Number 5 is the store brand people trust precisely because it says Trader Joe's on it. As in 2016, Trader Joe's labeled frozen vegetables were among the 358 products across 42 brands recalled in the CRF Frozen Foods Listeria outbreak, the one that hospitalized 9 people and killed 3. Here's what should bother you. Trader Joe's didn't grow those vegetables and didn't freeze them. A co-packer did in a facility in Pasco, Washington that got shut down. Turn over a lot of frozen veg bags and you'll see product of 2 or 3 different countries, which means the bag in your hand is a mystery even the brand can't fully trace. The real kicker is that a friendly logo does nothing to protect you when the actual factory is invisible. You're paying a trust premium for a name, not for a supply chain you can see. When the brand on the front has no idea what happened in the building where your food was made, that trust is worth exactly nothing. Number 4 is the Warehouse Club Special. Wellesley Farms, the house brand sold in bags big enough to feed a platoon. It was also caught in that same 2016 CRF recall, which means a giant economy bag in your freezer came off the same line as the contaminated product. What makes this particularly frustrating is the psychology of the big bag. You buy in bulk to save money and to be prepared, and instead you've multiplied your exposure to a single anonymous factory by 10. Look at the ingredient list and it's just vegetables. Fine. But the safety of just vegetables depends entirely on a facility you will never see and a brand that outsourced the one job that mattered. Buying more of a mystery doesn't make it less of a mystery. It only means that when something goes wrong, you've got a 5-pound bag of it. Number 3 stings because it wears a health halo. Organic by Nature, one of the brands swept into the 2016 CRF Listeria recall. Organic tells you how the vegetables were grown. It tells you nothing about whether the factory that froze them was clean. That's the lie buried in the marketing. People pay extra for the organic bag, believing it's automatically safer, and Listeria does not care whether your spinach was grown with compost or chemicals. The same recalled facility packed organic and conventional side by side. Organic farming is a fine thing, but when a brand sells you peace of mind it can't actually deliver, charging a premium for a word while outsourcing your safety to the lowest bidder, that's robbing you blind with a green leaf on the label. If this is already saving you from a bad shop, do me a favor and hit subscribe. We publish one of these every week. Number 2 is McCain, a giant you might know from restaurant fries, and that's the tell. McCain was another of the 42 brands in the 2016 CRF recall, and the company's whole specialty is processed, oil-added vegetable products dressed up as side dishes. Look at the ingredient list on most of their seasoned and roasted veg products, and you'll find vegetable oils, added sodium, and seasonings doing the heavy lifting. The same playbook that turns a potato into a fast food fry. In Europe, ready-to-eat foods like these face a hard legal ceiling on listeria under EU food safety rules. A measurable limit packers can be held to, just not here. When a vegetable shows up pre-fried and oil-coated, it has crossed the line from produce into the snack food category while still pretending to be a vegetable. That's the costume. Underneath, it's chemical geope in the shape of a carrot, and the worst of the bunch, number 1, isn't the most famous, it's the most recent, because this proves the problem never stopped. In 2025, Indico recalled its frozen peas and carrots, and its frozen mixed vegetables after listeria turned up in finished product with bags carrying use-by dates are all the way out in 2027. Bottom line, this is the same failure as 2016, 9 years later. A co-packer, a contaminated line, and a bag that could sit in your freezer for 2 years before you ever opened it. That long shelf life is the quiet danger. The recall happens, the news cycle moves on, and the bag is still in your freezer waiting. And here's the kicker. You could skip this entire roulette wheel by buying fresh vegetables, blanching them for 90 seconds, and freezing them yourself for a fraction of the price. We'll put the blanching method in the description. When frozen convenience comes with a 2-year contamination window, it isn't worth what it might cost you. Now the good news, because real frozen vegetables exist, and they come from people who actually grow them. Number 3 on the real list is Pick Sweet Farms, a family-owned operation founded in 1945 in the small town of Bells, Tennessee, and still run by the same family, the Tankersleys, 4 generations later. Here's why it actually works. Pick Sweet grows and freezes its own vegetables, and its plain line is labeled exactly what it is, 100% all natural vegetables, nothing but the vegetable in the bag. When the family that founded the company is still farming the product, there's a name and a reputation attached to every bag. The opposite of an anonymous co-packer. Longtime buyers say it's the frozen veg that tastes closest to fresh, and that the plain bags are about as honest as the aisle gets. You'll find Pick Sweet at Walmart and major grocers, usually for $1 or $2 a bag. Skip the seasoned versions, grab the plain, and you've got actual vegetables. Number 2 is Stallbush Island Farms, started in 1985 by Bill and Carla Chambers on a stretch of farmland in Corvallis, Oregon, with 2 crops and a stubborn belief that food could be both clean and traceable. In the early days, they supplied the baby food industry, which holds some of the strictest safety standards on Earth. And that DNA stuck. What actually works here is total traceability on a single ingredient bag. Stallbush grows its own vegetables on its own sustainable farm and freezes them, so the supply chain isn't a mystery handed to the lowest bidder. It's one family's land. Look at the ingredient list and it's the vegetable. It's full stop. Buyers consistently call it the gold standard for clean frozen produce. And if this ranking is useful, hit the like button. It really helps the channel cut through the algorithm. You'll find Stallbush at Whole Foods, natural grocers, and online. It costs a bit more, and that extra $1 is buying you a supply chain you can actually see. And the best of the bunch, number 1, is Cascadian Farm. In 1972, an idealistic 24-year-old grad student named Gene Kahn read Silent Spring, walked away from his studies, and started an organic farm on an abandoned stretch of land along the Skagit River in the Cascade Mountains of Washington. He was organic before organic was a marketing word. Here's why it actually works. Cascadian Farm built its name on single ingredient organic produce and a farm you can point to on a map. Look at the ingredient list on a bag of their frozen peas or broccoli and it says one thing: the vegetable, organic. No oil, no sauce, no sodium, no mystery. Longtime fans say it's the bag they reach for when they want vegetables that taste like the farm and nothing else. You'll find Cascadian Farm at most national grocers and online, usually for $3 to $4 a bag. That's what real, traceable, single-ingredient frozen vegetables cost, and it's worth every cent. The frozen aisle is a battlefield between an industry that hides behind anonymous factories and friendly labels, and you, the person actually turning the bag over to read the back. On one side, co-packed mystery vegetables that can poison 42 brands at once, and sauced up sides hiding soybean oil and a day's worth of sodium. On the other, families like the Chambers and Jean Kahn who grow the food and put their name on it. Remember the worst of what we saw. A recall so big it pulled 47 million pounds off the shelves and still couldn't say for sure where it all went. And remember the best, a plain bag of peas from a farm you can find on a map. So here's the wisdom to take to the store. Read the label always. If the bag is just the vegetable, you're winning. The second it grows a sauce, a seasoning packet, or a list of things you can't pronounce, put it back. And know the friendly name on the front is no guarantee of the factory behind it. Drop the frozen vegetable brand you still trust in the comments. We're building the list with you. Hit subscribe if this changed how you shop today. We'll see you in the next aisle.